Right now, we are going on live. September 16, 2019.
Right.
I call this meeting to order. Mr. Mayor, please call roll.
Mr. Rivers?
Here.
Ms. Knapp?
Here.
Mr. Taranto?
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any agenda changes this evening?
I shall not declare.
Okay. With that, we'll move forward. Do we have any public comments for items that are not on tonight's agenda? No. So that takes us to our 6 p.m. presentation with the Delaware County Board of Elections.
Trustees, administrators, and residents. My name is Allie Solov. I'm with the Board of Elections, and with me tonight is also Amy Murphy with the Board of Elections. We're going out, we call it the road show. Amy and I have been taking the equipment out. This past May we had it, but with such a small election, a lot of people still didn't get exposed to it. And we are required, when we have new equipment, to take it out into the community. So we do appreciate your time and effort here to get us on the schedule. Here we are here. We have new voting equipment and poll worker information. Voters want to see I feel funny, I went back to you. Voters want to see who they voted for. In our last equipment, they would have a paper trail that would go into the machine, and you could not read it as it was doing it. We kept it in case we needed it for a recount or anything. Voters have almost nationally demanded to have more of a way to see who they're voting for. There's several checks. The new voting equipment prints a paper ballot. A lot of people say we want it back to paper, but it does give the voter another time to check to see they're voting for who they think they want to. And voters can verify their choices before casting a ballot. So hopefully some of you had a demonstration on the way in. There's 3 steps to casting your ballot. The poll pads, which is a poll pad, we've had since 2015. Everyone's familiar with that. When you come in, you are checking by a poll worker to make sure that you're supposed to be voting where that location, because you should be voting on something if you don't live in that area. And then you take that authority to vote slip and you'll go to our 2019 new equipment. We have what it's a technical term, but it's called a ballot. We're just using it for layman's terms. It's a ballot marker. When you go in there, the screen is out there. The only thing that equipment is used for is making your ballot. There's no records kept in there on who voted for who or how many people voted for a certain candidate. All it keeps track of is how many ballots were made on that machine. So then what happens is after you have your ballot in hand, the voter can look at it again, like on the screen. There's a couple chances to check, go back, verify who you voted for. It will print out a paper ballot, which on the way over to our OVO or tabulator, which is the bigger equipment out there, the voter again can look at it and verify, yes, that is who I want to vote for. And then they take it over and they put it on our tabulator, and that's where it's tabulated. So there's 4 or 5 different redundancies of results, but they're in the tabulator. Again, the freedom vote, which just makes and marks your ballot for you. We have election tools. Again, we have the poll pad in the left corner. We've been using that since 2015. Most people should be familiar with that. If you notice here, these carts weigh a lot, okay? So there's no way we can haul around. But those freedom votes are on carts. So they're there ahead of time. So it's a lot easier for the poll workers. They don't have to get on the machines. They can pull them down, pop legs, pop them up and off. All they do is take the lids off. We have a code that goes in, and that's how the people vote. You have some that are this height and some that are lower, some of these are lower. They're really efficient. We had this past election. Poll workers just loved them that they didn't have to do all that bending down. And again, that goes into the ballot there. Most every location has to have at least 2 of these. We always have backups. There's a backup for a backup. Amy and I, we are a bipartisan team, but we also have backups. So this is the tabulator, which actually keeps the records. Now, our poll workers, we need a lot of poll workers, especially with new equipment. We don't want someone to take that paper ballot as a receipt on their way out. We need to make sure they're putting it in the ballot box before they leave. So we're adding about 150 extra poll workers for 19 into 20, the 2 elections. Maybe by 21 voters will catch on, we don't have to use quite as many. But we need about 950 poll workers, and then we have rovers also. We have a 165 precincts. We have 48 voting locations. Just for our county, and again, 950, that's a lot of people can come up with. Everything is bipartisan at our locations. One of our largest is Genoa Baptist, which has 10 precincts. But I don't know, maybe you guys are aware, this is a voting location, and we appreciate you guys. Our poll workers love working here. It's a wonderful environment. We treat them very well. And we have 2 minimum poll pads. One is the backup, just in case. Ballot markers. Some of our larger locations will have 8 of those cards. So it's a lot of equipment. If you've ever wanted to, when you come up to the Board of Elections, come. I think Wes, maybe you saw it when you were there, I'm not sure. If you look at our back warehouse, it's amazing. They're all like lined up like soldiers. It's amazing the equipment that we have back there. Okay, after the elections, we have the best poll workers in the world. They work 15-hour days. It's a long day. Okay, we had a celebration for them. We had over 200 people attend. We had Eloise Collier, which is right here, our outstanding election official. She's turning 95. It's next month. And then we also had some red carpet the Secretary of State workers that were acknowledged. But we also had some funny awards. We had the crock pot parade, met the location of the best food. Okay, I had one that was my lifesaver, the person that came up with the last minute. So we had some kind of lighthearted awards, but we had some serious ones too. Which location did their paperwork best? That's very important. If we would ever have a recount or anything like that later, that or public records, because of all of our forms are in top-notch order. The last one here. How can you be involved? Spread the word. Social media, Twitter, your city websites, the cabinet out inside. Delaware is putting on their water bills, saying we need poll workers. You say volunteer, but you get paid. Okay? A few people have said, well, I want to donate it to something. We still have to pay you, and you can donate it to whoever you would like. Most average poll workers get between $150 and $165. But certain positions can take up to about $200. That includes your training. And you can check out our Facebook share page and like it and share it. And if you have anyone, especially anybody that's new to the area, you'd like to have them working at your area or one of the ones here on Orange Road, they get to make the neighbors and get to know people like that. So, does anybody have any questions about your equipment?
What's your Facebook page?
Delaware County Board of Elections. So if you could, we'd appreciate it. This past work, got some flyers back there. Again, we have the best poll workers. They're so dedicated to us. They are your residents. The elections are expensive, but the one nice thing is all the money that goes to the poll workers, you have to be a Delaware County resident. So that money stays in the county. And we have a lady going into her 55th year. So our average poll worker is probably 15 or 20 years. So they keep coming back. It's a long day, but it's a very rewarding day.
It was different going back to paper, but I found the new process to be very thorough.
A lot of people have said, why are we going back? It's voter driven. There's that demand for actually seeing, before I cast, I want to see again who I voted for. Because in the past, we had paper, we have a lot of sources of the results, but they actually want to see it. And the equipment actually is very efficient. Just in a lot easier than the last equipment for the voters. Remember, voters are poll workers are voters also. And they loved it this last May. It was much more precise. It's very good for records, very concise with our results. But again, none of our equipment talks to each other. It does not send anything back to the Delaware County Board of Elections. Some other places in the country, we cannot attest to any place else except Delaware County. Ours do not talk to each other. We cannot get results till we get every one of those thumb drives back. And that helps with security. Okay? Nothing goes to the internet.
What was the cost for all the new machines?
Approximately, because I give you approximate amount for
Yeah, oh, yeah.
contract for maintenance and everything, $4 to $5 million.
And was part of that paid by the
Correct.
state, right?
Some of it's paid by the state. And that was something that they had passed, where they paid a percentage of it, and then the county commissioners paid some of it. Now, when we have an election, let's just say it's presidential, or November, when it's a presidential, we get some of it reimbursed by the federal government, the state government. When you guys go on, you know how you always get a portion that you need to pay if you're going on at a different time when other people aren't. So those are called chargebacks. So some of those entities that do go on do offset some of those costs over the, the long run. So, at least I can get you that exact amount.
No, just ballpark is
I've
fine.
always just heard that number. I'm not involved in the purchasing of it, or the contracts for the software, or the contracts for maintenance.
I know there was a problem that one year with the maintenance, or the couple years ago when they purchased the new machines, there was some kind of problem with someone had to come back out and fix them. And
Well, they just
Wow,
have to come
no.
out and like fine tune, tweak things after they were delivered. But no, everything's running wonderfully. Some of our old equipment, some of the legs were getting worn. It's designed, the old equipment, so that you can tear it down and put it up, which means it can't break. That's the nice thing about our new equipment. They're on top of those carts. Those carts are probably going to be there long after I'm gone. Okay. They're very sturdy, and hopefully any additional stuff in the future will be retrofitted for us. But yeah, this equipment should last for quite a while. Well, thank you all for letting us come here. We appreciate it. Sorry that we kind of talk and run, but we are on the county dime. So,
Thank you.
they want us to get out of here, so. But thanks a lot, and, we have a great election. Amy and I love what we do. We're the poll worker coordinators, and we also do the outreach. And as I said, we're the bipartisan team. Every job in our office has a bipartisan office person. So, if you have any questions, call us. But at least I will email you that exact number.
okay, all right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next presentation with the Delaware County General Health District.
She's trying to recruit me. All right, good evening. I'm Jen Teggy from the Health District, and I don't know, a couple months back, mentioned that the Health District was working on community profiles for each of our subdivisions. So this involved our epidemiologist, our public information officer, looking at various data points, looking at all of the services that we provide to each of the subdivisions, and then creating profiles. So I'm going to hand you the ones for Orange Township. And then I also have Delaware County, just so you can kind of compare the two. They look very similar, but you'll see orange at the top there. Okay, so I'll just kind of go through some of the highlights on here. So you'll look at, we have the population. Now the population growth, I will tell you, these are 2010 estimates, and I'm probably one of the last to present to the subdivisions, and the majority of our people have come back saying, well, this subdivision has already passed this population amount because this is from 2010. So I'm sure that, your estimate for 2010, you're probably over 23,000. Maybe you guys know that number. So just kind of wanted you to, be aware of that because those were estimates that were 10 years ago. Luckily, we'll be doing the census here next year, so we'll have more accurate numbers.
Is it because it's 2010 census?
Yeah.
I think Scott Sanders at Regional Planning has a pretty good estimate. You guys could reach out for maybe a more accurate, because I think it's close to about 30,000 now. So
Okay.
he actually has a really neat program that anticipates and estimates how many people live in the incorporated and unincorporated areas.
Okay.
It might even be
we'll check.
online. It's really handy.
Okay.
Does it
Cool. So you'll just see some of the demographics, looking at age, race, and ethnicity. how many deaths you had. So this is 2018 data, which your leading cause of death, which is heart disease, number of births, your life expectancy, which is pretty high. Average length of life is 80 years. And then it looks at, the healthcare access, how many facilities, hospitals, primary care that you have. And then we also look at, how many miles of trails, how many parks. You guys have a lot of parks, community gardens or grocery stores, those sorts of things. And then, Orange Township, they have a pretty low poverty level when you look at some of our other townships. Just to put that in perspective, we go from less than 1% in Thompson and Porter all the way up to 18% in Oxford. So that just kind of gives you a range of when you're looking at poverty levels within the county. Also, when you look at free and reduced lunches, so Olentangy, they're our lowest at almost 6%. Highest is looking at Delaware City, about 30% of their students are on free and reduced lunches. And then what is interesting, the social vulnerability index. So that looks at, I'll get my notes because, so this refers to a community's ability to respond and get back to normal in the case that you had a disaster or a major event. So they do it on a scale of 0 to 1. And you can see yours is pretty low, vulnerability index. And so, this talks about, they look at topics such as population, vehicle access, housing, disability, minority status, and language. And I do have just sort of an explanation I'll leave with you guys about each of the categories. And then on the back, so this is specifically to the services that we've provided from the health district for your township. And so you can see how many disease investigations, how many outbreaks, immunizations. I know that we run a clinic here. You guys have a flu clinic coming up here pretty soon. So they do a lot of immunizations down here. Newborn home visits, that was a new program we started a couple years ago. And the prenatal is even newer program. And then as far as environmental health services, so this is talking about your mosquitoes, fogging, plumbing inspections. There's a lot of development down here, so that's quite a bit of plumbing inspections that are done. Food service inspections, you're pretty dense down here. There's a lot of restaurants. So, 590 food service inspections, food complaints, and you'll see that anytime we do receive a complaint, we follow up on that. And then with community services, we have a car seat inspection station, I believe, at the fire department. And so, we've done quite a bit of car seat inspections. You do a lot of recycling, over 7 million pounds of recycling for 2018. And you have a pretty big household hazardous, or the electronic recycling that you guys also do. And so you're pretty active down here compared to some of our smaller subdivisions. So the plan with this is to do this every 2 years, take a look at the data, update it. If there's specific points that you want us to delve deeper into, Debbie had emailed us a little bit ago, a couple weeks ago, looking into some cancer deaths that were related with the county. So if there's something that piques your interest, we have experts that can look at that data and try to drill down to something else happening. You guys have any questions?
Looks like we need to work on the gardens.
We can help you with some of that. We are working with some of the schools if they're interested in doing, some gardening. I know we've worked with Buckeye Valley on, they're actually doing like a hydroponic garden out there. So lots of different opportunities, and, this is try to just get a sense of what's happening as far as health-related services and see if there's not any gaps that we could help you out with or, that you guys would want to focus on.
There's a lot of car seat inspections.
We do a lot of car seats. That's one of our probably busiest programs between that and immunizations.
And we actually have some firefighters that are certified
Yeah.
to inspect car seats. We've worked with the health department on that and checking.
Mm-hmm. I think we have about 22 techs right now in the county, which is a lot. And most of those are fire, EMS, some highway patrol. So they help out because we only have 2 people, and to get to the whole county to do these really takes a large team to do that. But you can find these on our website. So even if you want to go in and look, all the other subdivisions are up there. If you want to see how you compare to other subdivisions, you can do that. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me and I can put you in the right direction because I don't do all this tabulating. This is not my expertise. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Rivers, I did do patio tomatoes this year, but I wasn't counted, but I didn't really have that good of a yield, so maybe there's a threshold there. I'll try better next year.
Jen, what's your email?
It's J Keggy Keagy at DelawareHealth.org. So yeah, anytime you guys have anything related questions, health district, you can let me know and then I'll funnel you in the right direction.
Great, thank you. Thanks.
I make a motion to go into executive session to prepare for, conduct, or review negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment. The following are invited to attend: Mr. Bodnar, Chief Noble, Ms. Shetterum, and representatives from Ice Miller.
Second.
Mr. Rivers?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes.
Mr. Anto?
Yes.